Hello, I'm Allie Swafford, President of Prosperity Partners Wealth Management, and I'd like to give you an update on three important topics. This is going to be merely an overview. A more in-depth video will be produced by Craig Hammer, Senior Partner with Prosperity Partners, on the specifics of both the personal and the business CARES Act's provisions. But to give you a general overview, let's start with the Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security, or CARES Act. It was signed into law last Friday, and it's designed to help those most impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic, while also providing benefits for many retirees. If you have any questions about this information or anything else that we supply, please feel free to contact us by either email or by telephone. Telephone number is 865-690-0049 or at info@prosperitypartners.com. To put this monumental legislation in perspective, Congress earmarked $800 billion for the Economic Stimulus Act of 2008 during that financial crisis. This particular stimulus is $2 trillion. So how does that impact you as an individual? Well, here are some of the details of the stimulus checks that will be coming out. Americans can expect a one-time direct payment of up to $1,200 for individuals, $2,400 for married couples, with an additional $500 per child under age 17. These payments will be based upon your 2019 tax returns for those who have filed them, 2018 information if you have not yet filed for 2019. The amount is reduced if an individual makes more than $75,000 or a couple makes more than $150,000. For an individual making more than $99,000 or a couple over $198,000, they will not receive a payment. For businesses, the Act also allocates $500 billion for loans, loan guarantees, or investments to businesses, states, and municipalities. There are two things that apply to required minimum distribution. The first one is the CARES Act suspends the minimum required distribution most people must take from their 401k and IRAs in 2020. In 2009, Congress passed a similar rule which gave retirees some flexibility when considering distributions. Craig Hammer will go into more detail regarding the suspended required minimum distribution. Inherited 401ks is also another opportunity where if people have inherited 401ks or IRA accounts, they can suspend their distributions in 2020. Required distributions don't apply to people with Roth IRAs, although they do apply to investors who inherit Roth accounts. For some of you who have already taken your required minimum distributions, there are some specific rules that you will need to be aware of and follow. So please contact us if you have taken your distribution and you would like to see if you are eligible to replace those funds back in your qualified accounts. Another thing for those of you who are still working is that account owners who can take a distribution up to $100,000 from their retirement plan or IRA in 2020 without the 10% early withdrawal penalty that normally applies to money taken out before the age of 59 and a half. Don't forget though, when you do take money out of a 401k or an IRA, you will still owe the tax. There is some relief on that tax. Again, one of the provisions that if you are considering doing this, you probably want to get more detailed information from your plan provider, or certainly in general terms, we'll be glad to assist. Many businesses and individuals within our community are struggling with the new reality of COVID-19. The CARES Act may provide some much needed relief for our neighbors, our friends, and our loved ones. This is certainly a topic that you'll be hearing more about, and as I mentioned, we'll be having a part 2 more in depth for individuals as well as businesses. There are a couple of other items you need to be aware of. The Social Security Administration announced last week that it was closing its offices in an effort to protect the seniors as well as Social Security employees. However, they definitely wanted all folks that are receiving Social Security checks to know that these checks will not be interrupted. We find that in times of crisis, many times scammers are out there trying to find victims, and this is no exception. So don't be a victim. Know that there are people claiming to be Social Security Administration representatives and talking about suspending benefits. The Social Security Administration will never call you out of the blue asking for personal information. So if you get a call along these lines, make sure you hang up. Better yet, report this action to the Social Security Administration. Here are some things the Social Security Administration won't do. They certainly won't threaten to arrest you for Social Security fraud unless you pay a fee. They won't promise an increase in your monthly benefits. They won't ask you to send money via wire transfer, prepaid debit cards. And they won't ask you to send any type of gift card in the mail or via email. Social Security fraud does not only happen by phone, it can be by letter as well. Don't be a victim. The last thing, just in brief, is about tax filing deadlines. The Internal Revenue Service announced that the deadline had been extended for filing your tax returns as well as your first quarter estimate payment, if you do an estimated payment, till July 15th of 2020. An interesting note here, though, is that the second quarter estimated payment is normally due on June 15th, and that is still the case. So for those of you who do file estimated payments, know that your first quarter estimate will be due along with the income tax deadline on July 15th, but your second quarter estimated payment will be due on June 15th. We'll be going into some more details about taxes in the future. But at this time, we just want to thank everyone for practicing safe distancing, for continuing to help us to stop the spread of this pandemic. We want you to know that we are here for you and are available to answer questions by phone or by email. We wish everyone the best. Thank you.